Thank you so much for being here, Rebecca.
Yeah, so personally, just I'll just speak of the last a little over 2 years. In November of 2021, I got super sick and ended up like in my bathtub for like months at a time. It was horrible. Couldn't figure out. I mean, my mom had been up here for a little over a month and kept taking me in to the doctors, even flew me up to Fairbanks to get me in to see her gastroenterologist because nobody at that time, some place at Alaska Regional had been shut down. So they were all of a sudden backlogged everywhere and nobody could touch me with a 10-foot pole. So my mom flew me up to Fairbanks. Wow. To have me looked at and everything, it was just a very messy, continual process. They wanted to continually blame something that I was doing, would give me no options but to end up at the ER, but the ER says, oh, well, it's nothing new. You had this last week, you had this the day before, but I'm so dehydrated that I can't even function. Like I'm going in like catatonic state and I'm a single mom. Like what are you supposed to do, you know? I eventually sent my daughter away from me to send her to friends of mine in Kodiak. Thank goodness I could trust them, and things went well until my daughter had to come back to stay with me. And as soon as she came back to stay with me, I was staying with a lady up on Hillside. But the agreement was that I was renting a room for one person. Mm-hmm. So as soon as my daughter came to be in my custody, we were essentially homeless, and that was January 1st. This is where it starts.
I agree 100%.
And I think also reminding everybody that we are a community will be such a big factor in all of this. You know, that bringing us together in our similarities, and because it seems like everything in society today is trying to individualize you, and you know, and I just feel like we need to come back together to like the community mindset.
Absolutely.
If I could take a moment to tell my story of Medicaid and what it meant for me. I'm gonna stand up just because I gotta get the juices going. Yeah. No, if I talk about what Medicaid and what it meant for me, I have lived in Alaska since I was 2. I grew up here. I come from a middle class family, you know, mom, dad, traditional family. Lots of people call us the Black Brady Bunch because we had 4 of us, and you know, we made sure that my mom made sure that we had dinner together every night. It was one of those families. Fast forward, I find myself in a highly stressful job, in a destructive marriage, and in a family dynamic that I can't handle, honestly. And of all the people in the world, the one who was always in control, the one who, you know, was gonna get the degree, ends up being basically fall down drunk, straight up. And I tried everything. I went to AA, I tried not drinking, I tried just drinking, you know, wine. For God's sakes, I drank beer, which tastes like bitter, fuzzy water. That's where I knew I was an alcoholic. I'm willing to drink this trash. Sorry, Skylar. Skylar's like, hey, that's beer, baby. If I'm willing to drink this, I know I've got a problem. And I went to outpatient treatment 3 times. I had medical insurance. I had a high-power job. I was fully covered. And I still didn't have any answers after the 3rd time. I would be sober for a while, and then I'd relapse. I'd be sober for a while, and then I'd relapse. And I always told myself, I don't wanna do inpatient treatment, and, but I found myself, trigger alert, trigger warning for anybody that has suicidal ideation. I found myself in my brother's backyard with my wrists slit, and I had no more answers. And I had to give up my job, and I had to go on Medicaid. And I'm gonna be honest about something. There was a certain amount of shame in that for me.
Yeah.
You know, there was a certain amount of, you can't take care of yourself, you have to depend on other people to take care of you. I've never admitted that before, but that's very true. And I was sitting on the 4th floor of Providence, which is the psych ward. And I didn't have any medical insurance anymore because I didn't have a job anymore. So I had to go on Medicaid. And I decided that I needed to go to inpatient treatment. Do you know how hard it is to get into inpatient treatment?
Oh, yeah. There's what, there's only like 18 beds in the entire state?
There ain't a lot. But anybody who works with addiction knows when you get somebody that's ready to go to treatment, you have to get them to treatment now. And what I found was, through sheer luck, is that if you move to Washington State for one day, they will cover everything.
What? Really?
One day. I landed in Washington, D.C. after I finally decided to go, not Washington, D.C. I landed in Tacoma on a Monday. By the next Monday, I was in treatment. Fully paid for by the state of Washington, but my own state couldn't take care of me. And that's when I got activated. And selfish, for sure, right? It took what I went through for me to see and open my eyes to what so many people go through every day with a hell of a lot less resources than I do. And we aren't taking care of folks. We aren't taking care of our own folks.